Libby Dean is live at the White House Correspondents' dinner and joins us now. Libby, I understand you were tackled or taken to the ground. Tell me more about this.
Hi, Natasha. Yeah, I was speaking with the House Speaker, Mike Johnson, as this whole incident played out, and we were speaking, and his back was to the situation, so I was the one who informed him of what took place. And actually, we just saw Secretary Hegseth, Secretary of War, and the Department of Homeland Security Secretary Markwayne Mullin rush through the lobby here where we're standing, which is actually next to the magnetometers where this whole incident happened. But we shouted at Markwayne Mullin and we asked him if President Trump is okay. They confirmed the president is okay, the vice president is okay, and so is the first lady. But this is a very scary situation here, as obviously we're still trying to figure out exactly what happened. If that person, we know they're in custody, but we don't know their condition, and that's going to be the big question moving forward. Also, if the president comes back to this dinner, right now we're just seeing secretaries filter in and out, but at this point, we don't know for sure if the president is coming back.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Libby, I want to listen to that moment together quickly when we do hear those shots go off. Let's take a listen to that. And we hear those yells of "stay down." Libby, it is remarkable. It seems like the ripple of fear and activity in that room starts in the back and moves forward. There are several seconds that go by when we hear those bangs, at least 5 of them. And then the president is rushed off the stage. We are hearing that he is safe tonight, as are all of the protectees, including the VP and the First Lady tonight. We're looking at this from a different angle. But you were there. Tell me a little bit more about exactly where you were in that room. You say you were speaking with Mike Johnson at the time.
Yeah.
What did you hear? When was the moment you realized something was wrong, and what did you say to Mike?
The moment that I saw the snipers and them running down with Mike, because I was facing the actual room and my back was to the entrance. We were actually standing. There's so many tables in the room, like over 200 tables, and there's this huge graph that you look and you figure out where your table is. That's what I was doing.
So you were not in the room itself. You were actually more in the lobby area.
No, we were in the room.
Okay.
This is right when you walk into the room. So I basically had the view of the whole entire situation. Snipers came from every single angle, from United States Secret Service from behind me, and then also the other entrances, because there's several other ones that security is able to get through, while we just have our one entrance that we go through. And that entrance is near the magnetometers where it seems like this situation happened. As for what I said, I warned the speaker, and then we were tackled to the ground, and then he was escorted out. Following that, we saw several, unfortunately, senators, members of Congress limping out of the room, being carried by either their staffers or law enforcement who likely suffered injuries when they were tackled. And that is also something that was happening as all of this was developing. And I will say this is a very this is something that this White House is very familiar with, unfortunately, that President Trump has faced. And I actually just was speaking with Andrew Colvett, who was Charlie Kirk's best friend and right-hand man. And this is just a very shaken moment for everyone, but especially people like him, given the heightened threat environment and then what we saw happen tonight.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Did you hear those shots go off?
Yes, I did hear a loud bang, and then that's when I yelled at the speaker.
What did you yell at him?
Natasha, a curse word.
I appreciate the candor there, and I think the moment calls for it. We're looking at some of these stills. We're just getting into our newsroom. Cheryl Hines and RFK Jr. there. We're hearing reports RFK Jr. was limping. Tell me about, you said we have been seeing people limping out of this room, and we're seeing the still of Mike Johnson being escorted out as well. You're saying that's sheerly from being tackled, and you experienced that firsthand. That was Secret Service, armed Secret Service, that tackled you to the ground. What?
Yeah.
Can you walk me through that moment and what that was like?
I twisted my ankle, but we still got the heels on. Thank you for asking, Natasha. I appreciate that. It's just a very scary moment, but I got up and this is our job. So I got up and I immediately started filming.
Of course you did. And Libby, I know you will remember this night for the rest of your life, and there will be some processing and unpacking to be done. And I can imagine how high the adrenaline is in this moment as well. Tell me a little bit about the confirmed details we are getting. It
Yeah.
seemed like they were opening the doors, and it almost looked like an evacuation at one point. And then we're seeing this statement from the president on Truth Social.
The
He says,
craziest part of all of it, Natasha, is
tell
we
me.
have no service. So everyone in here is trying to get information out. And I'm so glad that we were able to get me on the phone with you, because really getting any kind of information out right now is the big problem.
Yeah.